There's a moment in life when you look in the mirror and realize something has changed. Not dramatically, not overnight, but quietly, persistently, like sand slipping through your fingers. Your energy isn't what it used to be. Your skin tells a story you didn't write. Your body feels heavier, slower, like it's carrying years you didn't consent to. And somewhere deep inside, a question forms. Is this just how it is now? Is aging something that happens to us, or is there something we can do about it? What if I told you that in 2024, a team of scientists at Stanford University conducted an experiment so simple, so elegant, that it challenged everything we thought we knew about aging? What if I told you that in just 8 weeks, they managed to reverse biological age, not with drugs, not with surgery, not with expensive treatments, but with food? And what if the people in this study weren't special? They were just like you and me. Average age, 40, regular lives. The only difference? They were willing to try something different. This is the story of 21 pairs of identical twins who agreed to participate in a controlled dietary experiment. Identical twins share the same DNA, the same genetic blueprint. So when scientists want to isolate the effect of a single variable, like diet, identical twins are the gold standard. One twin in each pair would follow a 100% plant-based vegan diet for 8 weeks. The other would continue eating a traditional omnivore diet: meat, eggs, dairy, the foods most of us grew up with. The choice to use a plant-based diet wasn't arbitrary, it was strategic. Plant-based diets are the most concentrated source of phytonutrients, the compounds that fight oxidative stress and cellular damage. They're also the most potent at reducing chronic inflammation, which, along with oxidative stress, are the two primary drivers of biological aging. Everything else in their lives stayed the same. Same routines, same stress levels, same sleep patterns. The only thing that changed was what they put on their plates. At the end of those 8 weeks, the results were published in BMC Medicine, one of the most respected peer-reviewed journals in the world. And the findings? They were nothing short of extraordinary. The twins who had followed the plant-based diet showed measurable reversal of biological age. Not subjective feelings, not anecdotal improvements. Objective, molecular-level changes in their DNA. Their bodies had quite literally grown younger. Now, I know what you're thinking. How is that even possible? How can food, something so ordinary, so everyday, have the power to rewind the biological clock? To answer that, we need to talk about something called epigenetic clocks. Don't worry, I'm not going to drown you in jargon. Think of it this way. Your DNA is like a library filled with books. Some books are open, being read actively by your cells. Others are closed, gathering dust. As you age, certain books get opened or closed based on chemical markers called methylation. The more methylation accumulates in the wrong places, the older your body becomes at the cellular level. Epigenetic clocks measure these patterns. They can tell you not just how many years you've lived, but how many years your body thinks it has lived. And here's the kicker. Those clocks can be reset. Plant-based diets provide the molecular cleaners, compounds like folate, B vitamins, and polyphenols, that actually remove the harmful methylation markers that cause aging. It's like having a crew come in and clear out all the dust and clutter from the library, allowing your cells to read the right books again. The vegan twins in the Stanford study showed reduced harmful methylation. Their epigenetic clocks had turned back. But that wasn't all. They also experienced lower levels of inflammation, improved hormonal balance, and better metabolic markers across the board. And on top of all that, they lost an average of 2 kilograms more body fat than the omnivore group. Not through calorie restriction, not through exercise, just through the food they chose to eat. Now, let's pause for a moment, because I want you to imagine something.
Imagine waking up in 2 months and feeling lighter, clearer, more energized. Imagine looking at your reflection and seeing someone who looks not just healthier but genuinely younger. Imagine your doctor running your blood work and saying, "I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it." That's not a fantasy. That's what happened to the participants in this study, and it could happen to you. But here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just about aesthetics or vanity. This is about the quality of the years you have left. Because aging isn't just about wrinkles or gray hair. It's about chronic inflammation quietly damaging your arteries. It's about insulin resistance creeping up on you. It's about your immune system slowly losing its edge. These are the invisible battles your body fights every single day. And the food you eat, it's either ammunition for your body's defense system or it's fuel for the fire that's burning you down from the inside. So what exactly did the vegan twins eat for those 8 weeks? The answer is simpler than you might think. Whole foods, plants, vegetables, fruits, legumes, whole grains, nuts, seeds. Foods that came from the earth, not from a lab or a factory. Foods rich in fiber, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds. Foods that don't just fill your stomach, but actually communicate with your DNA, telling it to express health instead of disease, youth instead of age. Let me paint you a picture. Breakfast might be oatmeal topped with berries, walnuts, and a drizzle of almond butter. Lunch could be a massive salad loaded with leafy greens, chickpeas, avocado, and a tahini dressing. Dinner might be a hearty lentil stew with roasted vegetables and quinoa. Snacks? Fresh fruit, hummus with carrot sticks, a handful of almonds. Nothing exotic, nothing complicated, just real food. And here's the thing. This wasn't a starvation diet. The participants weren't counting calories obsessively, they weren't going to bed hungry, they were eating until they were satisfied. The difference was in the quality of the food, not the quantity. Because when you eat whole plant foods, you're eating foods that are naturally low in calorie density, but high in nutrient density. You can eat more, feel fuller, and still lose weight. It's not magic, it's biology. Now, I want to address the elephant in the room. You might be thinking, but I love meat. I love cheese. I can't imagine giving that up. And I get it. I really do. Food is emotional. It's tied to our memories, our culture, our identity. The idea of changing what we eat can feel like losing a part of ourselves. But here's what I'd ask you to consider. What if the foods you love are quietly stealing the years you could spend with the people you love? What if the comfort you feel in the moment is costing you vitality in the long run? And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to be perfect. The Stanford study was 8 weeks of a 100% plant-based diet, yes. But even if you don't go all the way, even if you just shift the balance, more plants, less meat, more whole foods, and fewer processed ones, you'll still move the needle. Every meal is a chance to send a message to your DNA. Every bite is a vote for the kind of future you want to live. And if you're thinking, I don't even know where to start, don't worry. That's exactly why we're building this channel. In the coming videos, we'll give you the recipes, the meal plans, the 8-week challenge framework that makes this transition not just possible, but actually enjoyable. You won't be doing this alone. Think about it this way. Your body is constantly rebuilding itself. Every cell, every tissue is in a state of renewal. The skin you're in right now, it's not the same skin you had a month ago. The lining of your gut, it regenerates every few days. Even your bones are constantly being remodeled. Your body is not a static object. It's a dynamic, living ecosystem. And the raw materials it uses to rebuild itself come from the food you eat. So the question is, are you giving your body the materials it needs to build a stronger, younger version of you? Or are you giving it materials that accelerate decay? The omnivore twins in the study didn't do anything wrong. They ate a normal diet. But normal in modern America means processed foods, added sugars, saturated fats, and inflammatory compounds. Normal means convenience over quality. Normal means eating for taste and convenience rather than for health. And the result? Their biological clocks kept ticking forward. They aged. Not because they were bad people, not because they didn't care, but because the system they were living in, the food system, the cultural norms, the marketing, was working against them. Let me share something that one of the researchers said in an interview after the study was published. She said, "We've always known that diet matters, but what surprised us was how much it matters and how quickly the changes happen. 8 weeks is nothing. It's a summer vacation. It's 2 months. And yet in that short time, we saw changes that could add years to someone's life. Years. Not days, not weeks. Years." So here's where I want to invite you to reflect. What would it mean to you to gain back even 1 year of vitality? To wake up feeling like yourself again? To have the energy to play with your grandkids, to travel, to pursue passions you've put on hold? And what if it didn't require a miracle drug or a medical breakthrough? What if it just required a willingness to eat differently for 8 weeks? Now, I know change is hard. I know it feels overwhelming. But let me tell you something that might help. You don't have to figure it all out on day one. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to start. Maybe that means swapping out 1 meal a day. Maybe it means trying a new plant-based recipe once a week. Maybe it means just becoming curious about what's on your plate and asking, is this helping me or hurting me? And here's the truth that no one talks about. Your taste buds adapt. What seems strange or unsatisfying at first becomes normal, even delicious within a few weeks. Your body starts craving the foods that make it feel good. You stop wanting the foods that make you feel sluggish and heavy. It's not willpower, it's biochemistry. Your body wants to be healthy. You just have to give it the tools. The Stanford study is part of a growing body of research from institutions like Harvard, the Mayo Clinic, and Johns Hopkins that all point to the same conclusion. What you eat is the most powerful tool you have to influence how you age. Not exercise, though that matters. Not sleep, though that's critical too. But diet, because food is information. It's instructions. It's the code your body reads to decide whether to repair or to decay. So imagine this. 8 weeks from now, you've committed to eating more plants, fewer processed foods. You've said yes to nourishing your body instead of just feeding it. What do you think you'll feel? What do you think you'll see when you look in the mirror? What do you think your blood work will say? I can tell you what the science says. You'll be younger. Not just healthier, younger. At the cellular level, at the level that actually matters. And if you're still skeptical, that's okay. Skepticism is healthy. But let me ask you this. What do you have to lose by trying? 8 weeks. That's all it takes to see if this works for you. 8 weeks to potentially change the trajectory of your health for the rest of your life. If it doesn't work, you can always go back. But what if it does? Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. The twins in the Stanford study didn't just get younger on paper. They felt it. They reported more energy, better mood, clearer thinking. They felt like themselves again, maybe for the first time in years. And that's the real promise here. Not just more years, but better years. Years lived fully, vibrantly, joyfully. Years where you're not just surviving, but thriving. What if this 8-week experiment could actually rewrite your DNA? In the next video, we'll uncover the science behind how food literally turns aging genes off, and why the industry doesn't want you to know that.